Paul Edward Madeley, born the 20th of September 1944 in Beeston, Leeds, West Riding of Yorkshire, is a former Leeds United and England footballer. During his career with Leeds, Madeley played in a variety of different playing positions, which led to him being described as a utility player. Leeds United. Born in Beeston, Leeds, Madeley signed for Leeds from non-league Farsley Celtic in May 1962 and made his debut for Leeds in January 1964, following injuries to Freddie Goodwin and Jack Charlton, and became a regular in the team from 1966 onwards. Madeley was arguably the most versatile of players in his Leeds career. He played in every position on the pitch except goalkeeper and wore every shirt from No. 2 to No. 11, and occasionally No. 12. As a result, his natural ability to adapt to a different role on a frequent basis meant that he was often in the side chosen by manager Don Revie at the expense of a specialist in that position, though the majority of the time there was a player either injured or suspended whom Madeley would replace, usually in defence. However, Madeley was utilised in attacking positions when Leeds won their first major honours under Don Revie. In the 1968 Football League Cup final, Madeley wore the number 9 shirt. Striker. In the 1-0 win over Arsenal. Whilst in 1971 he scored the crucial away goal against Juventus which helped Leeds win the Fairs Cup. In the two legs he wore the No. 11 shirt. Left wing, midfield. His versatility led to the nickname of the 11 Pauls, which was used in the 1972 FA Cup final song Leeds United. Madeley played 31 league matches in various positions in the 1968-69 season as Leeds won the league championship, and in 1970 played in multiple positions, until Paul Reaney broke his leg shortly before the end of the season. With Leeds seeking to win 3 trophies, Madeley duly played in Reaney's right-back position as Leeds missed out on the league to Everton, the European Cup in the semi-finals to Celtic, and the FA Cup in the final to Chelsea, who won after a replay. Having deputised so well for Reaney at club level, Madeley was asked by Alf Ramsey to take Reaney's place in the England squad for the summer's World Cup in Mexico, but Madeley politely refused, saying he wanted to rest and, as a stand-in, was unlikely to kick a ball. For the 1970-71 season, Madeley was in the side in one position for all bar one of Leeds' matches in the league, with Leeds again missed out on in the last game of the season. Madeley scored in the first leg of the Fairs Cup final of 1971 away in Turin. This goal, along with a 1-1 scoreline at Elland Road, helped Leeds to triumph in the competition, with Leeds winning on the away goals rule. In the 1971-72 season, Madeley again found himself moving around the side as injuries and suspensions to his teammates, and in the end he never missed a league match, though for a third year in a row Leeds failed to clinch the title on the last day of the season. In April 1972, left-back Terry Cooper suffered a broken leg, so Madeley switched to the No. 3 shirt for the season's end and the FA Cup final, which Leeds finally won with a 1-0 win over Arsenal. Revie signed Trevor Cherry as a replacement for Cooper in the summer of 1972, and Madeley moved across to the centre of defence for much of the next season as Jack Charlton's distinguished career at Leeds wound down. He wore the No. 5 shirt as Leeds lost the FA Cup final to Sunderland, and then switched back to the left wing in the No. 11 shirt for the European Cup Winners' Cup final a few days later in Salonika, which Leeds lost to AC Milan in controversial circumstances. Leeds won the league in 1974, Madeley missing just 3 matches, and even after Reeves' departure that summer to take over the England job, reached their first and only European Cup final a year later, with Madeley in the No. 5 shirt again. Madeley was granted a testimonial season in 1977, and eventually retired from playing in 1980 with 711 appearances in all competitions to his name. International career. Madeley made his England debut in 1971 against Northern Ireland in Belfast in the 1970-71 British Home Championship at right back, a position he was to win the majority of his 24 caps at in a 6-year international career. The then England manager Alf Ramsey had previously approached Madeley to replace injured Leeds teammate Paul Reaney at the 1970 World Cup in Mexico, but Madeley politely declined, stating that he needed a rest and that as a stand-in he was unlikely to play a part. Madeley later partnered Bobby Moore at centre-back as the latter won his 100th cap against Scotland in 1973. His final cap came against Holland in a friendly at Wembley in 1977. Post-playing career. After retiring, Madeley invested in a shop in Leeds selling sports goods and worked for his family's DIY business. He and his brothers sold this business for £27 million in 1987. In 1992 had a benign brain tumour removed. He had a mild heart attack in 2002 and was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 2004. Madeley was portrayed by actor Chris Moore in the 2009 film The Damned United, an adaptation of David Peace's novel of the same name about Brian Clough's ill-fated tenure at Leeds. Miscellaneous. In his autobiography, Right Back to the Beginning, Reeves' eventual replacement Jimmy Armfield related a telling story about Madeley negotiating a new contract. He once actually signed a new contract on what was virtually a blank piece of paper. I called him in to discuss terms and opened discussions by saying, "Okay, Paul, we'll give you so much." He replied that he had no intention of leaving Leeds, so he might as well sign the contract and let me fill in the details. I said, "What do you want, then? 2 years or 3 years?" He answered, "Either way, I'll leave it to you. I just want to play for Leeds." And that was that. Honours: Football League First Division winner, 2, 1968-69, 1973-74. Runners-up, 5, 1964-65, 1965-66, 1969-70, 1970-71. 1971-72. Football League Second Division winner, 1, 1963-64. FA Cup winner, 1, 1972. Runners-up, 3, 1965, 1970, 1973. Football League Cup winner, 1, 1968. FA Charity Shield winner, 1, 1969. Runners-up, 1, 1974. Intercities Fairs Cup winner, 2, 1968, 1971. Runners-up, 1, 1967. European Cup Winners' Cup runners-up, 1, 1973. European Cup runners-up, 1, 1975. Individual PFA Team of the Year inductee, 3, 1973-74, 1974-75, 1975-76. Leeds United Player of the Year winner, 1, 1976. Paul Madeley. England Stats. Com.